When I was sleeping rough, I was in City Park in the centre of Bradford.
It was horrible. I lived under a bridge for weeks.
I think that's how I kind of damaged my back a bit from the way I was sleeping.
I was asking if they could, help me find somewhere to sleep for the night, and that's when they told me about Nightstop, and they were explaining like what it does, like stuff like that. They'll give me food, a shower, stuff like that.
It was a nice room. It was really nice rooms at Nightstop.
Like, it made me feel really welcome and like wanted in the world.
Bradford Nightstop is an organisation that provides emergency, one night at a time accommodation for homeless young people aged between 16 and 25 in the Bradford area.
My husband and I moved to Bradford in 1991 and saw a BBC Two programme, Entertaining Angels, about a network of hosts taking young people into their homes. It had started in 1987 in Leeds. We volunteered to train as hosts with Leeds Nightstop and was told by the worker that there were several people around Bradford that were keen to host, and Leeds Nightstop were getting referrals from homeless young people in Bradford. So we started and employed Joy Atherton as our first project worker.
What's great about Nightstop is that it's very clear what we're doing. It's very clear, it's uncomplicated. There's someone without somewhere to sleep for the night, and then somebody offering a spare room in their home, which would otherwise be just sitting either full of junk or empty for the night.
On arrival, the young person will be given the chance to have some food, a hot bath or shower, clean clothing, and most importantly, a safe bed for the night.
When it first started, people were quite negative about us. They were saying, oh, no one's ever going to do this. But over the years, people have proven that they're committed to young people, and the scheme has been robust enough to last this long. In our first year, we only provided 28 bed nights to homeless young people. But since then, we've got a lot busier, and in the last 10 years, we've offered 4,358 safe places for homeless young people to stay. And in one of our busiest months, we had 80 referrals.
Okay, then relationship breakdown. And the agency workers there, please.
Thank you. And where's he coming from?
A young person can't just ring up Bradford Nightstop and ask for a bed. Young people are staying in the homes of volunteers, and we therefore have a very careful risk assessment, which is done through young people going to a referral agency.
Yes, West Yorkshire Police have been referring young people to Nightstop probably since Nightstop's inception in 1993.
Well, the information shop for young people has been referring to Nightstop since 1993. I think that's when it started, so quite a long time.
Well, when the youngster comes to the counter, we'll speak to them and find out exactly what their problem is and why they are homeless.
We would also carry out the risk assessment whether this person is suitable. We would make it clear the background, the rules.
Bradford Nightstop is providing a fantastic service to youngsters to keep them off the streets in safe and warm environments.
As an agency perspective, Bradford Nightstop is a brilliant scheme. It accommodates young people well, it provides safe and secure environment.
It's a vital service really in a lot of ways, because for a lot of people coming into Bradford, they don't know where to turn, who to talk to.
The arrangements are fantastic. The young person doesn't have to worry about anything from travel arrangement to getting back to the agency the next day.
Bradford Nightstop, I would refer it to anyone that's on the streets that've got nowhere else to go.
If you're never homeless, then you don't know about this kind of stuff.
We were one of the very first night stops, and now there are many scattered throughout the UK. And many of them have visited us as they've been setting up their schemes to learn from our experiences. Our work is accredited by DePaul Nightstop UK, who carry out 3 yearly inspections. This means that standards are kept high, ensuring that there is a consistency across the network which young people can rely on.
Even though it's a sort of charity and a voluntary organisation, it seems to be, run very well, very professionally, and it does everything, properly.
When I made a referral for a young person, there's a general sense of relief that this young person is going to be secure. Once in my experience, as a young person come back and said that I don't want to stay at Nightstop.
Bradford Nightstop's based at the Carlisle Business Centre in Bradford, where we have a small office with a very small staff team, and yet we have an army of volunteers who are actually engaged with us and working with us, delivering the work across the district.
Yeah, there's certain things in life where you realise after doing it for a while that you actually gain more than you give, and we give very little, really. I mean,
and she knew my children had left home, and she said, "But you've got a spare bedroom." "I'm a host for Bradford Nightstop," she said, and she was a woman on her own, and she still hosts for Nightstop.
And my role is to be on end of the telephone line for the agency to ring me to have a youngster with them.
Some came with nothing, some came with massive big bags with all the clothes and stuff in, and some had absolutely nothing.
More and more we are dealing with young people who have got housing or homelessness issues.
And we also have to stress that Nightstop is not a final stop, it's a sort of a temporary measure until they get something more secure.
Whilst we are working on long-term accommodation needs of that young person, it provides a short-term relief.
Nightstop Plus is a new scheme for Bradford Nightstop, and we're hoping to set this up as an alternative to bed and breakfast. It's about offering longer stays for young people, 1 to 3 weeks, still in the homes of volunteers, and running alongside our emergency accommodation service. We hope that this will make a difference to those young people who need it most.
Now and again I got like people like walking past like, "Oh, you're a tramp," and stuff like that, and like sometimes I'd like, when I was sleeping, I'd get like people throwing stones and stuff like that, but I didn't really let that bother me, because you know what I mean, they don't actually understand why I was homeless.
Everybody thinks like this, that this is the place where no one will come by.
I mean, at the moment, streets aren't really getting that safe at the moment. I mean, they're getting worse every day.
A lot of people were thinking like me, and a lot of guys would come by, and I think they were just mainly drug dealing and things like that.
To them, I'm just like another homeless bum on the street. They haven't actually taken the time to get to know me and find out why I'm homeless. They've just like assumed, "Oh, I've chosen to live on the street, so I'm going to throw stones."
At that point, I didn't know about many agencies who can help in that kind of situation.
As well as our emergency accommodation service, we deliver preventative homelessness education work across the district through schools, colleges, pupil referral units, and we reach thousands of young people year after year.
Tong High School is a multicultural school in the south of Bradford. We serve a lot of our local community and also communities from across Bradford. We have students from 11 to 19 and we're a thriving community representation really of Bradford, I feel. Our pastoral curriculum focuses very much on citizenship and thinking about as a young person what your responsibilities are and what the challenges are. So as I researched locally, Bradford Nightstop stood out as a particular charity that targeted young people and that they could engage with. So I contacted Bill 8 years ago, and since then we've been working together across the school. So I think there was an element of disdain before we introduced Bradford Nightstop to working with our students of, it's not my problem, homelessness, you know, it's their own fault, it's somebody's fault, and a bit of a blame culture, which has changed to support really in understanding and having empathy with a lot of young people could find themselves in this situation, and when they do, they need somewhere to go and they do need some help. So I think it has had an impact positively.
As well as working in partnership for our education work, we're conscious that we can only really deliver our work properly by working with other agencies across Bradford. Resources are stretched, but it is this strong partnership work which means that follow-up work can happen with each young person that uses our emergency service.
At the first it was really, I didn't know anything about where to find help, but obviously as time's gone on I've kind of learnt places, I know where places are where I can get help now.
And then I went to Connections again and they told me about Bradford Foyer, which that was just like the light at the end of the tunnel for me.
The best thing I did when I became homeless was actually moving into Foyer and meeting my partner and getting my own place.
somewhere like where I can live. I can sleep in a nice comfy bed. I don't need to worry about stones being thrown at me. I can actually have a social life and keep my clothes clean. I won't have to wear the same clothes every day.
Bradford Nightstop has continued to deliver great work year after year because of the support, first of all, of volunteers who are at the heart of it, but also the support of funders, big funders such as Bradford Council and the National Lottery, but also funders such as Hilton in the Community, Rotaries, churches, individuals that have given money year on year, and that's made a huge difference. And it's all been possible because of that. And every donation that is given to Nightstop is of value and has helped us be sustainable over the years.
I said generally I hope the Nightstop scheme continue. I think it's a valuable service as it's been proven. 1993, we're in 2013, so 20 years.
I think it's extremely important that we keep up our work with Bradford Nightstop, and I think it's a very good partnership.
They're doing a wonderful job. Their generosity and kindness of spirit, I have every admiration for the whole organisation.
I love working for Bradford Nightstop because I think that young people have so much potential. And really, young people at the start of their lives, if we can't help people at the start of their lives to really move forward, when can we?
Hopes for my future, I mean, where I am now, obviously I'm working, so that's not bad.
Yeah, now I have somewhere to stay.
Well, my hopes for the future. I think everybody knows that. I'm hoping to get married to my partner, have kids and settle down. A lovely life together with her.
So I've started looking at things to do with adventure training, and so I want to be an instructor with rock climbing. It's turned out brilliant for me, really.